10 worst things Nebula ever did in MCU. When Nebula was first introduced in the Guardians of the Galaxy, she had a darker role, and as time went by, she was used to elevate some dramatic moments with comedy. Even after leaving her father, her actions were questionable, and there is a lot that fans may still not know about her. Throughout her MCU journey, Nebula has gone from a minion of THANOS to fending for herself, to a fully fledged Guardian of the Galaxy. In this video, we are going to discuss the top 10 worst things Nebula did in the MCU. 1. Tried to take on Thanos alone. There are two occasions where she tries to overpower Thanos. One was after the events of Guardians of Galaxy Volume 2, where she tried to sneak on board Thanos' ship, and another was in Avengers Infinity War, when she hit Thanos with her ship on Titan and proceeded to attack him by herself. These actions were not the worst in terms of evil. You could even argue it was sheer bravery, but it is worst in terms of foolishness. 2. Threw a XANDARIAN out of his ship. In Guardians of the Galaxy, Nebula cuts off her own hand to escape the battle on Xandar and fend for herself after Gamora and the other Guardians defeat Ronan. She falls from the ship and lands in front of the XANDARIAN spacecraft, where she picks up the inhabitant up and throws him to the ground. In terms of evil things MCU characters have done, this isn't that high up, but for Nebula, throwing someone thousands of feet to their death is pure evil. 3. Tried to kill Gamora. In the Guardians of the Galaxy, Ronan and Nebula are tasked with going to nowhere to retrieve the orb, and a chase ensues involving Rocket, Gamora, Nebula, and Quill. Gamora, realizing that she's trapped, heads to space to try and evade Nebula, who fires the destructive blast to Gamora's pod, knowing full well that she was in there. Instead of injuring the pod and retrieving the orb, she blasts Gamora's ship into pieces and leaves her to die floating in the void of space. Tried to kill Gamora again. Just before Nebula escapes the battle on Xandar, she and Gamora engage in a fight on Ronan's ship, where they both try to kill each other. Nebula almost manages to kill Gamora, but trying to stab her with an electric sword, but the sword throws electricity through Gamora, who is holding onto it. Even though it's revealed in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 that Nebula just wanted a sister in Gamora, she certainly doesn't seem to be holding back during their battle on Xandar. Sided with the Ravagers. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Nebula sides with the Ravagers, who have turned on Yondu, in return for the bounty of units attached to Yondu and the other Guardians. As part of their plan, Nebula shoots Rocket, knocking him out while also shooting Yondu's fin off the top of his head. We also can't ignore the fact that she betrayed Baby Groot's trust by saying that she would help find the Ravagers if he let her out. Tried to kill Gamora a third time. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Nebula finds Gamora in Ego's planet and tries to kill her in numerous ways. She first fires the ship's guns at her and then tries to hit her with a ship and then strangle her. All of this takes place within a 4-minute fight sequence. She almost succeeds but stops just in time as the two discuss their differences as sisters and daughters of Thanos. Thankfully, this was the last time she tried to kill Gamora until 2014, almost shot her in the third act of Endgame. Allowed the murder of YONDU'S men. After Nebula sided with the Ravagers, a full-scale mutiny takes place where Taserface ejects Yondu's men into the dark void of space, with Yondu watching life get sucked out of them as they float out. They could have been imprisoned, even murdered quickly, but Yondu's men being ejected into space is a very vicious death. Only the cruelest of the cruel would let happen. As the daughter of the most powerful being in the galaxy, you would think she could have campaigned for a different murder method if she wanted to. Joined Ronan. In the Guardians of the Galaxy, Thanos sends Nebula to Ronan's ship to aid him in retrieving the Infinity Stone from the Guardians. However, once Nebula realizes that Ronan and the stone could defeat Thanos, Nebula agrees to help Ronan destroy 1,000 planets if he kills Thanos. On a scale of good to evil, it's pretty clear that joining a bloodthirsty Kree to destroy thousands of planets and then turning on your father is way up high on the evil end. Chose Thanos over her future self. In Avengers Endgame, Nebula 2014 meets Nebula 2023, who was freed by Gamora 2014 once she learns about her future. The crew try to convince the Nebula 2014 to join them and help them defeat their father, but the 2014 Nebula goes to fire a shot at Gamora to kill her again, and is shot first by her first 2023 self. Trying to kill your sister and siding with your arguably insane titan of a father while ignoring your own advice from the future is definitely one of the worst things Nebula has done. Brought Thanos to 2023. After Nebula 2023 got caught in Avengers Endgame, Nebula 2014 poses as her and returns to 23 with the rest of the Avengers after the time heist. Once back in 23, Nebula reprograms the time machine to bring Thanos from 2014 to 2023 to retrieve the Infinity Stones and carry out his plan. Doing so destroyed the Avengers compound and caused the deaths of countless warriors from all over the universe. Not to mention, if she hadn't done this by extension, Tony Stark would have never died. That's all for this video. Leave a like on the video. Your one like motivates us to make videos for you. Comment down below which is your best moment of the Infinity Saga. See you in the next one.